Welcome back to the Mel-Tran Designs podcast. I'm your host, Melissa, also known as Anansi on Ravelry and on Instagram and everywhere else. I am Mel-Tran Designs. Today is Friday, March 18th, 2016. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer, and thanks for checking me out if you're new. I know that I recorded on Sunday, but I wanted to get back into kind of my weekly Friday recordings that I've been doing, so I decided just to make it kind of a shorter week as far as in between podcasts and get back in the rhythm. I have managed to average one per week. Like I said, Sunday was after last week got over, but still the one per week goal this year, I have made it this far, yay! So we'll see when I start traveling how that works. But anyways, I hope you've had a good week. This week has flown by really quickly, and so I'll just go into happenings this week. I have been continuing my cleaning. I have managed to keep my front 3 rooms clean after these 2 weeks, since I cleaned them 2 weeks ago. Right now there's quite a bit of laundry right behind you, but it's because of what I started cleaning this week. A whole bunch of laundry came out, and so I've been working through that. I try to only have like one load of laundry done at a time, or finished at a time, and fold it and get it put away. But yesterday my dad came over which you'll understand why my throat is so icky when I tell you why he was over. But anyways, I ended up having to have 2 loads come out, and I just didn't finish them because I was tired last night, so that's on the list for today. But going back, I've been able to keep those up, and then I did my room, which is why all the clothes came out, because it ended up being a catch-all for clothes. They were everywhere. So I brought all those out. I was able to get rid of a bunch of stuff. I found a whole bunch of baby clothes to get rid of, and my cousin is actually pregnant right now with most likely a girl. Last time she went in, they told her it was about an 85% chance, but she has her official gender revealing ultrasound on April 9th, so we'll know for sure. But anyways, I'm going to be giving those to her, but I was able to put a whole bunch of stuff in the back of my van, like 2 boxes and some grocery bags and all that kind of stuff, full of stuff that we're getting rid of, which is nice. And now that I've been washing through all of the clothes, it's very obvious why I've had nothing to wear. And why Jake has been complaining about not having stuff. Like, it just, it's insane. So, I need to go through my stuff, because now our closet is completely full. My dresser is full, like shirts and shirts and shirts, and I need to go through and be like, okay, what am I actually going to wear? What can I do without? What can we get rid of? So I need to thin that out. But anyways, so it was nice. I moved Quinn's playpen from next to my bed over against the wall next to the dresser. So now I can just walk next to my side of the bed and walk through my room, and I even vacuumed in there. Oh, it was great. I still have my dresser to do, but I'm okay with that. The floor is clean. And it's funny because the day I was cleaning it, my mother-in-law sent me a message and was like, hey, do you guys want a king-size bed? Like a free king-size bed? And I was like, because we have a queen size, which I'm okay with. And I love our mattress. It's a double pillow top, and I love it. But a free king size bed is kind of hard to turn down. She said the mattress isn't the best, but they went to Costco and got one of the memory foam mats to put on the top, and they loved it. And she said it was like $90 or $100. And so if we were to get that bed and didn't like it and wanted to get one of the mattress toppers, we would have a king size bed for $100 essentially. And she has blankets and sheets and everything. It doesn't have a headboard or a footboard. It's just the frame, but I'm okay with that for now. And I hate hate the footboard that we have. It takes out your thigh like nobody's business. Like, you barely touch it and you're bruised for days and can't touch your leg. I mean, like, it's horrible. And so I would be fine just getting something with a headboard, you know, or whatever, and that would save a ton of money too. And that's not even something that would have to happen right away. And I'm decent enough with a saw, and I've seen like online plans for them. I could probably just make my own too, which would be a fun project. So anyways, so that's going on, and it's kind of a fun, exciting new change. When faced with getting the bed though, I got unexpectedly emotional, but it totally makes sense. We bought the bed with money we got from my mom's life insurance payout, so there's that. We've had it through, you know, all of our kids, so we've, you know, had babies sleeping with us in there, and I literally had Eli on that bed, you know, so there's so many memories and emotions that are tied to the last 12 years, almost 13 years now that we've had the bed. And I know you're supposed to get new mattresses, blah, blah, blah. They're expensive, and it's been fine, so don't lecture me on that. But it just, like, I'm even getting emotional thinking about it. Like, there's just so many memories. You know, that's the safe place for my kids. And, you know, when they're not feeling well or whatever, and I know it's going to be the same on a different bed, but that one, we've been through a lot of life sleeping on that bed every night, you know, just our family being babies, and, you know, just all of that. It just, I don't know. Anyway, it's kind of dumb, I guess, but I don't know, whatever. So anyway, but I said, you know what, let's try it out for a few nights, see how it goes, and go from there. So anyways, and Anansi, as soon as she heard it, she's like, can I have it? Can I have this bed, please? So the bed won't be going anywhere. She'll get that. Kyan will get the full-size bed that we got for Anansi. Eli will get the single bed that Anansi has now, and we can get rid of the bunk bed that we have, because it's not just one of the stack on top. It's the kind that goes, you know, one goes this way and one goes this way, and the rooms are so small it takes up the whole room. And it was given to us for free, so we will pass it along for free. But anyways, I just remembered that I have an acquisition that I don't have sitting here, but it really doesn't have anything to do with knitting anyway. I was just going to show it off, but I have to have a replacement one sent anyways. It's my new tablet that I ordered last week. It's a Samsung Galaxy Tab, and it's not, I'm having to get a new one because the one I got, there's the touch screen surface, and then right underneath it is the you know, the surface that has the videos and, you know, the picture and stuff. I just messed up made my hair stick up. Anyway, it was kind of bowed at one spot, and when the screen is black, you can actually see it touching underneath the touch screen. And so I contacted Amazon right away, and they sent one out, and I don't have to send this one back immediately, so I'm keeping it and kind of playing with it a little bit here and there just until the new one comes, and then I'll ship this one back. But oh my gosh, do I love it already. And it's so big compared to my 7-inch one. It's so big and so much fun to look at and super easy to set up, especially because I already have a Samsung phone. So it'll be really fun once I can fully, you know, move in and do all that. So anyways, what else has happened this week? I know this is a long segment for it only being 4 days, but a lot has happened this week. My dad came over because I noticed that my toilet, we had tile in the bathroom that we put in there about 8 years ago, and I noticed that the toilet had sunk and the tiles had broken, and so he's like, we gotta get that figured out. So he came and started pulling up tile and realized that right next to the bathtub, water had gotten through somehow, and the floor has been not rotting, like it's not molded or anything, but it had, I guess, rotting because it was wet, but it was wet and, you know, starting to kind of break up. So we're tearing all of the tile out of the bathroom, and we're going to put new floor in and get new floor. Yay! Yesterday it was a little stressful watching it happen, because even though we put it in 8 years ago, it's still really fresh in my mind because I put every tile down on that floor. Like, I did all that work, and I remember how much it sucked. And the fact that we're having to replace something we've already replaced, that was the frustrating part for me. I don't mind doing home improvement stuff if it's new and exciting. This is not new and exciting. This is a rerun of 8 years ago. Maybe 9 years ago, I guess. So, and the wall where the toilet and shower and sink are, where the plumbing all comes out of, it shares a wall with the laundry room. And I said, you know what, let's go check that, because we had to replace that wall and the floor in there. So I was like, let's go check that. We pull out the washing machine, and sure enough, the drywall had kind of rotted and peeled away. And I was like, what is going on? So we pull that out, and my dad starts ripping back. Fortunately, it was completely dry. His theory is that, or his hypothesis, whatever, is that where it drains, it possibly overflowed at one point, or like once or twice. Not enough, because the floor, no damage was done to the floor, but it overflowed just enough that it ate away at the drywall there. So luckily though, he only pulled out, let me see, maybe about a 2-foot chunk. So we can replace that and fix it, and that's minor details. And it forced me to pull the washing machine out and really clean back there, get it all swept, and did not find really any socks, like 3 or 4, but found a whole bunch of other stuff. So, because our washer and dryer, because it's a front loading, all the buttons and everything are on the front. It doesn't have the back part that comes up like others do, and that would stop things, so things just fall off the back. Things that probably shouldn't be on there to begin with, but whatever. So we got that done. The floor in the bathroom is not done. It's tile, and the floor the tile was stuck to, and then the subfloor. Like, we have like 3 levels in our bathroom. But it's because we ran out of time. My dad has a bowling league on Thursday nights, and so we ran out of time, and that's all right. He's going to come tomorrow, and we're going to figure stuff out. Luckily, none of that is super expensive, and I'm not putting tile back in there. I hated the process. I hate how cold it is. Whatever. We're just not going to put it in there. So we're going to, he has some flooring that he got that it's kind of this, I don't want to call it a hybrid. You know how they have those linoleum tiles you can put down? It's like that, but a higher quality, more sturdy flooring. It's a thicker, you can't just bend it. It has kind of that same look, you know, just kind of a textured, anyway, so it's a vinyl material, but it's a thicker, heavy duty that he has put in his kitchen and in his dining room, and it's nice. So I think I'm going to look into getting that instead. Plus, putting it in is so much easier. So we'll do that this weekend, I guess. And then the last thing I did, good grief, this is why I was sore last night and looked at the clothes and was like, nope. And I actually told everybody, dig out and find your own stuff and fold it and put it away. And then Jake actually started working on it. There's, along the back of the couch, there's a whole bunch of folded clothes and whatnot. So it's not 100% going to be me folding it and whatnot. I do have help. So anyways, I did a second coat of primer on Eli's room. And I know most people are like, really? You need 2 coats? I probably wouldn't have, but my sweet husband did the first coat, and he's not the handiest of handy men around the house, and he put it on nice and thin. And I got a thick primer because my children colored on the walls. Not recently, like a while ago. And we washed them and whatnot, but not all of it came off. I should have gotten a magic eraser. But anyways, so when he put it on, you could still see through. And I'm like, why did you put it on so thin? Now I have to go do it again. Luckily, we had enough that I could do a second coat. But he also didn't take the paintbrush and like paint along the ceiling. So it's really obvious where the original coat was and the 2 layers of primer. So I have to climb up there today. It was kind of dark last night, so I didn't realize it at first, and then I started going, wait a minute. So today I will get our step ladder and go up and at least do 1 layer just around the top. It doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to be painting pretty solid colors over it, but I do want to have it painted up there. So I'll do that later with the paintbrush. It won't take that long. Anyway, so moving forward on that, Eli needs his room done. So yeah, there's that. Anyways, that is everything from this week. Like, me telling you happenings this week is almost as long as my entire podcast on Sunday. Or Saturday night, I guess it was Sunday, that I just busted through really fast. So anyway, let's move on to the knitting, or the going on, coming up, knitting, all that kind of stuff. Let me take a drink here. All right, going on / coming up. Going on is the Laura Ayler knit along, the unofficial Laura Ayler knit along. In my group, I called it, what did I say? All things Laura Ayler or something like that. Anything by her. She's an amazing designer. Has page after page of beautiful, 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 beautiful patterns. Many of which I would like to make. Lisa, Fiber Nymph from the 90% Knitting podcast, and I are co-hosting. It's for fun. Join on both. Mine, I'm not having a specific FO thread. It's just one knit along thread. If you want to chatter, if you want to show your progress, if you want to show your FOs, just share them. And if we get a lot of chatter going, I may be inclined to pick, draw a winner for some sort of something or other here and there. So jump in and get involved. The other stuff, nothing else is going on. Coming up is the retreat I'm hosting, Fiber Fanatics Unite. The deadline to sign up has passed, but the fun goodie bag item collecting has commenced, so that'll be fun. And then Zombie Knit Apocalypse is coming up in June. All right, let's get on to the knitting. Works in progress. I have show notes today. That's why I keep looking over here. First thing I have on the list there is my 10 stitch blanket here. That, not surprisingly, is growing because I'm working on it every day. Continuing on with my 20 ridges a day. I'm really close to my next corner. You can see I'm here, and here's the next turn. I did put in my progress marker here, and so in the last 4 days I've done from, let's go back here. You can't see it because it's purple and it's blending in, but from here to here, and I have finished the purple and started a new little leftover ball, and it is actually some Solar Flare Fibers yarn that I have left over from 2 different projects that I was able to get out of that skein. So I will take my project marker and put it here, so that way we know when I record next week how far I've been able to get. I always like getting to the corners because if I'm partway through my 20 ridges, I stop counting and do the corner and then continue on counting. So I actually get to do a little bit more work. Or if I'm at the end of the 20 and get to there, then I just do the corner. The corner doesn't really count. So get to work on it a little bit more, get a little bit of extra progress done in there. Let's see if I can show you how big it is. I don't know that I'll be able to fully in the screen with how close I am to it, but it's actually about as long as my legs, or kind of waist to floor length. And I love it because I work on it in the mornings when I'm still kind of cold from getting up out of bed, and so I lay it out on my legs and then work back and forth on it, so that's very nice. That is on size 4 needles, US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter, and I'm using leftover sock scraps for that, and it's in my large sweater size Knitting's My Bag. All right, next on my list, my mitered square blanket. That's actually sitting right here in my lap, and I have not done 2 per day since Sunday, but that's all right. I've still been working on it. So just this week I have done blue, 3 whites, and I've started this red. I have 8 red ones to do, and then 3 whites and a blue to finish this row. It won't be done this week. I'm trying to do a row per week, and it's just been one of those weeks, but that's okay. I'm still working on it. I will try to do probably 2 or 3 today, and maybe 2 or 3 tomorrow to at least get farther along. The fact that I'm even working on it on a regular basis is good, so I'm not too worried about that. I'll put that back where it sits right there. And that's on size 7s, which is a 4.5 millimeter needle. All right, my shawl, it has seen some growth this week. I need the needles from it to finish my sweater that I'm putting the zipper in. I'm telling myself that because I want to get it done. The reason I say I'm telling myself that is because I have other size 3s, but I want to get this done, and I'm close, so I'm just going to wait until it's done to put my zipper in. So let me show you. See, I have, I am not, all right. I started a new row last night, but I'm not really far into it. I'm not going to unknit it, but I'm just going to slide these stitches onto the other needle here really quick so I can hold this up for you. Hold on, 4 more stitches, 3, 2, 1 more, there we go. Okay, let's see if I can hold it the right direction here. All right, so here's how it looks. I can't see my screen. Okay, it looks like you can see it. So as you can see, this color side is wider than this color side strip, but it's because I wanted to finish all of the mini skeins. So I just kept knitting, and then decided to do 10 ridges. I was going to do 5, but it was way too few. It didn't balance it out. So I did 10 ridges here, and I'm pretty much just going to work this until I run out of yarn, which I mean, it'll take a little while. This has a decent amount, but you can see my yarn cake is very floppy. So yeah, just garter stitch, garter stitch, garter stitch. I have all the colors are the Leading Men Fiber Arts Year in Review mini skein set, and then the blue is some Volmisa twin, I think. And so now I'm on this side, and I will work until I run out and be done. So the pattern is called First Point of Libra by Laura Ayler, and like I said, it's on size 3 needles, which is a 3.25 millimeter. It's my Darn Pretty. It's the Northern Lights size 3s, because they don't make 3s in the wood, and they don't make the wood ones anymore anyway. And this is my medium-sized Knitting's My Bag project bag that I just got. When did I get that? November? No. It was December. It was her kind of end of the year clearance, I guess. Alright, And lastly, the baby booties that I was making for my friend's baby, or my friend's granddaughter, her daughter's baby. I have finished the booties. Let's see if I can make this stand up right. Okay, so I finished the booties. They are almost identical. You can see that this one started the pink a little sooner, but that's all right. They're pretty much, I mean, they're so close to identical that it's close enough. The bottoms are both red, which is awesome. So that's done, and then I have one tie done, but I think it's a little short, so I'm gonna after I finish the second one, I'm gonna pull out this end and knit a little bit more on it. This is where they are really different. See how much pink is still on here? There's quite, well, I don't know if you can see that far away. There's quite a bit of pink, and then it goes into the white. Well, this one that I've been working on this morning has just a bit of pink down at the tip, and the white end goes into the red. So what I'm going to make sure to do is start the red here, so there is red on this. So anyway, they're going to be good enough that she won't care. I think this is long enough. I added 20 rows from what I had on here, so I'm going to weave it through and tie it before, and see how it goes. The yarn I'm using is some Fiber Nymph yarn. It's the Let Me Love You colorway. And yeah, these are size 1 needles, 2.25 millimeter, and the pattern is called Christine's Stay On Booties or something like that. I don't remember the exact name, but I think that's what it's called. I have a project page for it, so you can click on it there. Also, I will have a link to it through the show notes that can be found at meltrandesigns.blogspot.com, and the podcast can be found there as well. And that is in one of my yarn cubes. That is all I have to show you as far as works in progress. Finished objects. I still cannot find my sock blockers, which is funny because I put them away. This is why I don't clean. I have been wearing these though the last couple of days, so I'll just show you the top, but they are done with the heel. Oh, well, I'll show you the heel. The yarn I ended up using for the heel is a blue. You can see that it's different than this. It's some leftover damselfly yarns from when I did a shop sample for her like 3 years ago. I found it and was like, hey, that'll be perfect. Stuck it in the heels. The heels that I did though were the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I did it as an afterthought, a true afterthought. This is the first time I have ever had, sorry about that, this is the first time I've ever had afterthought heels that fit perfectly, and it was great. I just cut the yarn and and had my needles in there and worked back and forth as per the pattern, and then when I was done, I turned it and did a Kitchener all across the back, and it's you can't even tell there's a Kitchener. You can't, nothing. Perfect. I like doing afterthought heels when, like, if I'm out somewhere and can't measure, or like with self-striping or whatever, and I also like Fish Lips Kiss heels, and now I can do them both. Yay! So anyways, there's my report back on that. Fish Lips Kiss heels do work as an afterthought heel. You just have to be willing to Kitchener 32 stitches across, or however many stitches you cast on. So anyway, I'm glad to have those. I need to enter them in the self-striping knit along from Stockinette Zombies, because they are my 3rd this year, so that's awesome. Moving along, as far as designing goes, I do have the slanted toes pattern written, like I said, on Sunday. I've had one person contact me. She hasn't responded with her email address yet, but that's all right. If you would like to knit a toe for me, that would be great. And it would take, I don't know how long it takes you to do a toe, but 30, 45 minutes of your time, and just reading over the pattern. I mean, I'm only asking for like an hour of your day. That's it. So if you would be willing to do that, I would be willing to say thank you. I would very much appreciate if you would do that for me. So please let me know. You can either respond in the episode thread on the Mel-Tran Designs, in the Mel-Tran Designs group on Ravelry, or you can PM me or email me about it, meltrandesigns@gmail.com. You can contact me any way you would like. So there's that. And that's all I have for designing. No, that's a lie. I did work on a shawl idea that I just grabbed some worsted weight yarn because it works up faster and tried it out, and it's pretty cool. It's a multi-directional shawl that I think would be pretty fun, and it would use multiple colors, and I did it just in garter stitch just to see if the stitch count, it would be a different stitch count obviously, but just to see if the base worked, and it looked cool even in garter stitch because, you know, if you have this and then this and this, and you know, you can see the direction that the lines are going. So even in garter stitch it looked cool. But I'm not going to leave it in garter stitch. So, or I might just have a garter stitch option as well for if you just wanted to do that. So, anyways, so that was a lot of fun to work on one night. Yeah. All right. Moving on to acquisition. Shoot, I do not want to miss that call, but I'm so close to being done, and I don't want to stop this, so I will call them back. Acquisitions. I have kind of a funny acquisition this week. Every year for my girls' birthday, I get them a new dress, and we usually just go to Savers and get one because they have perfectly good dresses over there, and they're usually just lightly used. And I got an email that they were having dresses on sale, 40% off. So I took Kyan to get her birthday dress, and it ended up being like $2.60 or $2.40. It was crazy. But when I'm there, I always check the sweaters. Always, 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 because they sometimes have really good ones. And I scored, okay, that's just telling me I have a voicemail. I scored this week. I found 3 cashmere sweaters in the men's department. One of them is a large one. Why did I get another? All right, I don't know. My phone's just buzzing at me now. I found 3 cashmere sweaters that are the fine cashmere that I will get to pull out and then like ply onto itself. It's going to be awesome. And they're large too. This one is a men's extra large. And it's this beautiful blue. And it's actually a nice sweater. I don't have anyone in my family that can wear it. It is a Brookmore brand. I don't know what that is. I haven't heard of that one. But anyways, I made sure to check the seaming. And this one actually, for the sleeves, doesn't have seams. It's actually all in one piece that I can see. Maybe there is. No, I think I might have found the seam, but it's, oh yeah, there it is. But it's, this isn't the one I was thinking, I guess. But what I was told is to check to make sure that it was tied, which you can't see it, but right here, to make sure that it was the yarn that was used to seam it, and it was on all 3 of them. So I have that one. And then I stumbled upon this gray one. It's just a plain, kind of a dark gray. And then I found this awesome Mr. Rogers cardigan. That's, you can see when they're next to each other, it's a little different than the first blue. More kind of a gray blue. It's almost like it's in between. It's almost like they transition. Like there's the blue and then the kind of gray blue and then gray. And this one is a medium, and it's from LL Bean. This was an expensive sweater, and I'm gonna pull it apart. But anyways, I brought them home, and Jake's like, "Can I put one on? I've never worn cashmere." And he puts it on. He goes, "Oh, oh," and then as he's getting settled, and he's, "Oh, oh my," and then he starts rubbing. He's like, "Oh, oh my, this is amazing." It was awesome. None of these looked good on him. I would have let him have like the gray one or whatever, but he has a really long torso, and it just didn't look quite right. And the sweater, it's way too old man for him. So we ended up, he didn't get any. Plus, I get the buttons off of the sweater, and there's 5 of them, and they're actually really nice brown buttons. So bonus on that. So anyways, I got 3 sweaters that I'm gonna pull apart and have a heyday with, which will be tons of fun. And yeah, anyways, so I'm gonna go ahead and end with that, and remind you that you can get a hold of me on Ravelry, or my email that I've already said, meltrandesigns@gmail.com, or yeah, really those are the best ways to get a hold of me. You can find the podcast in the Mel-Tran Designs group on Ravelry. There's a Mel-Tran Designs Facebook page where you can find it there. Meltrandesigns.blogspot.com is where I put the podcast and the show notes. I'm pretty sure it's still uploading to iTunes when I go through archive. Is that all the places? And I usually put a note up on Instagram. If you follow me on there, I usually will post on there as well when I upload. So anyways, lots of places that you can find me, and YouTube, of course. Like, that's where this is hosted. I always forget YouTube, but that's where that's where it comes from. So anyway, if you heard that was my tummy rumbling. I am hungry. It's lunchtime, and I haven't really eaten much this morning, so hey. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed our time together, and until next time, keep knitting. Bye.